Good morning. Welcome back to Eat Happy. It is the morning after 4th of July, and I'm in the kitchen sort of prepping for our next celebration. I don't know if any of you guys can relate, but with the 4th of July holiday this year on a Wednesday, we literally have been preparing for the holiday by celebrating. Yesterday, we were blessed enough to have multiple picnics and parties to go to reconnect with different groups of friends that we have. And now we're just continuing to keep the holiday going. So I've got to get ready for the day. So with a lot of celebrations, I'm starting to feel like my social calendar's getting in the way of my eating happy. I've been very, very happy, but my body is telling me I got to pay better attention to it, right? I don't know if any of you guys can relate to this. We all go through it. So one of my goals I've shared with you is I've been trying to increase my water intake. I've always been a poor water drinker. So I've tasked myself with trying to drink 1 gallon of water a day. I have yet to do it, but I'm still chipping away at this goal. So there's no like black or white system here. Like we're very much in a gray area, getting comfortable in that gray area, just trying to drink more than I did the previous day. So I've already filled up my gallon jug so that I can sort of measure how much I've had to drink so far that day. And I am actually going to make a little bit of a detoxifying water. So I'm going to add some lemon, cucumber, and mint right from my potted garden. And why I'm doing that is I'm really trying to promote healthy digestion right now. Lemon is key to helping get rid of all of those toxins in your body. So I'm gonna just pour this gallon of water into this really pretty pitcher. So it's also a great visual of how I'm doing throughout the day with, having my water, but it's also going to be very eye appealing too. So I've already pre-sliced my lemon and my mint and my cucumber. Cucumbers are a great snack, a great add-in, not just to water, but salads, even just chopping them up. And especially if you get the baby cucumbers, they're really crisp. My kids love them. They're nice and crunchy. And cucumbers themselves are about 96% water. So that's great. So we're just gonna put that in there and it's ready to go. So that's the first thing I'm going to do to support my Eat Happy goal right now in the middle of this week-long holiday. The next thing I'm going to suggest to you, anybody that sort of struggles with digestion or who wants to better absorb nutrients in your body, consider taking a digestive enzyme. I happen to use one that also includes a probiotic. I do this because I'm always trying to stimulate good bacteria in my gut. There's so much research out there promoting gut health and how that connects to other aspects of our body, especially our mental health, right? And you guys know I'm a licensed therapist, so I'm very much a huge proponent of encouraging people to pay attention to their mental health. So I'm gonna do a little science experiment. I feel like, I remember in like 4th or 5th grade, we had like science Fridays, like where we would create like a chem lab, fun chem lab in our classroom, and there would be like all different things that we would do, like making the volcano, erupt and all that stuff. So we're gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna show you. I took some of my Cabot Greek yogurt. I'm just putting it in a little dish for you guys so you can see the magnitude of this. But basically, if you were to eat yogurt, it's gonna go right down into your belly, just like it sort of looks in this cup, okay? And I'm gonna mix up some of the digestive enzyme that I use. So it's a powder supplement. So I pour some in there. I'm gonna add some water to it because it's got an isotonic delivery system. What that means is this supplement actually matches the pressure within our body, okay? And this is huge because this is why it's absorbed so well into our system. So what happens is when it matches our body pressure, it opens up that H. pyloric valve and allows the digestive enzyme to go right into our small intestine. So I'm going to pour this digestive enzyme right over the yogurt, and you can already start to see it curdle a little, but I'm just gonna set it aside because I'm gonna show you the results of this, but I'm also gonna give you a little bit of education behind the digestive enzyme in that here we're trying to promote all of that healthy bacteria. So we've got within this supplement, we've got our Digizyme patented form of a digestive enzyme. We've also got our lactospore in there. So anybody who is dairy sensitive, it's going to also help break down the elements of dairy. And we know dairy's hard on our body, so a lot of people can relate to that. This is gonna offer you some relief. So the digestive enzyme, I typically take that about 3 times a day when I'm in the middle of a holiday like this, right? Where I'm eating off of my regular, routine. And again, it's the 80-20 rule, right? But I'm just trying to help my system not have to work so hard. And it's completely safe to do. I've seen my naturopath doctor, and he said, Heidi, you can take this, before or after every single meal that you eat. It's absolutely fine. So I don't normally take them 3 times a day, but on days like today where I'm eating more, or I'm sort of out of my normal routine, I am going to do that. All right, so while that digestive enzyme is going to work there, what I'm going to do now is prepare what I'm bringing with my mom friends today for our little snack around the pool. So if you've watched my previous video that I did with my daughter, Mads, Madeline, we call her Mads, we made the General Tso's chickpea dinner, winter chickpea dinner. Well, I made this for one of the parties we went to yesterday. There happens to be a little bit left over, but people were raving. They're like, stop it. That's like a vegan recipe that, where'd you get it from, blah, blah, blah. So it was a big hit, and I have a little bit left over, but not enough to be like a full serving of anything. You guys get that, right? You have leftovers all the time. Well, I need to combine it with some other superfoods here, and we're going to make a whole other Asian salad. So I'm gonna give you that recipe that you can use now working off of the chickpea recipe. So what I'm going to do in my wok over here, I'm gonna put a little bit of minced garlic just for some additional flavor. You can also add some more ginger if you want. I went a little heavy on the ginger yesterday, so I'm not gonna add any more of that. But I'm gonna put warm up a little bit of garlic in the frying pan, and then I'm gonna add this big bag of chopped up kale. I'm gonna put it right in the frying pan, and I'm doing this now, well before I'm leaving, because I'm gonna serve this cold, but I'm gonna cook it down a little bit. And I'm gonna add some shredded carrots in there because carrots complement kale and chickpeas and all of those like sort of Asian flavors that we're going for. I'm gonna put those right in there. And the other thing I'm going to do, I don't know if you guys love edamame as much as me. I love it, right? I have some frozen shelled edamame I have out, sort of thawing out. At the end, I'm gonna toss that right in there too. So while this is all cooking down, let me just grab my and I didn't put any oil in here because I really don't need to. If you've got a good wok that you use, the water from the vegetables and just sort of tossing this around makes it so you don't need to add any additional fats to what you're making. So I'm just gonna keep tossing that. And just a couple of quick tips on kale, and then we're gonna check back to my yogurt over here. But kale is a superfood, right? It's so nutrient dense. It's filled with antioxidants. It's filled with beta carotene. It's also got a lot of minerals in it that perhaps you don't know this, that people are deficient in. So magnesium is one of those minerals. And we know about 60% of the population does not get enough magnesium. And magnesium is related to so many different health problems, right? So people who don't sleep well at night, think about taking magnesium and calcium before you go to bed. People who are prone to depression, there is so much literature out there on how how magnesium can support depression and reduce the symptoms related to depression. Also, people who have leg cramps or restless legs or things like that, a lot of times we think it's potassium, it's actually magnesium. So double check whatever type of multivitamin or daily vitamin you're taking and make sure that you're getting enough magnesium. I know the one that I take, I get 577 milligrams every day just of magnesium, right? So that's huge, that's good. But then of course, I'm also looking for the different foods that will also offset that. So on days like today where I'm really trying to focus on whatever what I'm trying to eat, I want it to be nutrient dense because a lot of the things I ate over the last couple of days weren't. Kale is on my list. Also, edamame is really high in protein. So for every cup of edamame that you eat, there's 18.5 grams of protein. So I tend to not eat a ton of meat. And if I do ever eat meat, I typically am not eating meat for several days after, just because digestively I can feel the difference. So I will be really focusing on these chickpeas and the edamame to get my protein in today. Also the chickpeas in here are gonna add some more protein to that. And if you haven't seen that video, what we know is the base of this is broccoli, a little bit of soy sauce and ginger. I added some red pepper flakes this time. Remember we talked about that was an option, but I was making it for the kiddos last time, so I didn't put it in. I did put it in this time because it was for the adults and they loved it. I love spicy, so you can't really put enough red pepper flakes in there for me, but I have to be sensitive to other people. All right, so this is pretty much cooked down. And now I'm gonna leave it. I'm just gonna set it aside. It's gonna cool off. I don't want my greens mushy. I just want them bright green and not as rough as a raw kale would be, okay, for this dish. So I'm gonna let that cool. Once it's cooled, I'm gonna add it in to the rest of my broccoli, chickpeas, green onions, all this stuff. There's enough of a dressing still on these chickpeas that's gonna dress my entire salad now, including the kale and all of that. So I'm not adding any other dressing, any other fats, nothing there. There was 1 teaspoon of sesame oil in there. That's enough. I mean, and this was a huge bowl of it, so very little fat. And now I'm gonna check in on my yogurt here. So I don't know if you can see this. I mean, there's barely any chunks. There's 1 chunk right here, but it's really almost liquid. And this video is still under 15 minutes. So you can see that just within probably about 5 minutes, the digestive enzyme has made it so, and I'll just pour it back into my cup right here. This is pretty much, see, you can see a couple of chunks, but it's pretty much liquid. The yogurt's pretty much liquid. So great visual, right? To show how this digestive enzyme is just going to help you, remove any blockages. They're gonna just help get everything moving, smooth move. So I hope this video was helpful for you in having some tips for sort of detoxing a little bit after some fun holiday plans. I love taking a day off right in the middle, so you can sort of recover before the whole next weekend of more plans and fun. So please like, subscribe, comment below, and have a great rest of your holiday week. Talk to you soon.